Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Fowlers and Friends. This here is our fantasy fishing portion of the YouTube channel. We got an exciting Major League Fishing tournament coming up. It's going to be unique, a little bit difficult, a lot of strategy involved. I think multiple techniques will play, and I tell you what, your picks are going to be hard for this. It's going to be hard to pick the guys this time around. I really truly believe so. We are starting on Douglas Lake in Tennessee, March 18th through the 21st. Then we're moving to Cherokee Lake on the 22nd and 23rd for the final 2 days. So we have two different bodies of water. They have 3 days of pre-fishing. How they divide that time to get patterns and stuff, it's just going to be crazy nuts, right? It's going to be really difficult. So stick along for my picks and lake breakdowns and who we think's got a shot at this. All right, so let's start off with last tournament's results. Red Crest ended up with 474 pounds and 7 ounces on my picks. We placed 2,085 out of, I think there's like 20,000 contestants. So the way it finished out, top 10, Brian Thrift, congratulations on the win. You well deserved, sir, and well played throughout the whole tournament. Followed up by Alton Jones Jr., Edwin Evers, Jacob Wheeler, Matt Lee, Casey Ashley, Dustin Connell, Adrian Avina, Randy Howell, and Ott Defoe. And the reason why I listed those top 10s is each and every one of those guys in that top 10 have momentum coming into this tournament. So we'll see how those guys shake out, and some of them are on our picks this week. Let's break down the lakes. So Cherokee Lake, the variable minimum for Cherokee Lake is 1 pound 13 ounces. In comparison to the Douglas Lake, where the variable pound minimum is 1 pound 6 ounces. So there's a few more largemouth in Cherokee. So the weight's a little bit higher. The quality of fishing overall in that are a little bit higher. Cherokee runs 393 miles of shoreline. It's a shad and alewife for your forage base. It's got largemouth and smallmouth. It also does, have wiper hybrids. It's a highland reservoir. It is a generation reservoir and has generating capabilities. And with all the rain they had, they're going to be letting water out. Water's rising. We have a big cold front coming in. So the main structure from all the YouTube videos I watched around, you got rock, you got rocky points, you got rock walls, and then you have cuts and creeks and drainages into the lake. Not a lot really on any tournament like really close. There was a couple at the end of last month, beginning of this month, and a lot has changed since then with the cooling and the cold rains they've received. Water's gone up, it's dirtied up, they're letting water out, so there's just a ton of moving parts this week. Douglas Lake, another highland reservoir, it's quite larger. It's got 513 miles of shoreline, primarily largemouth bass. It does have a few smallmouth. Same thing, it's got rock, riprap, ridges, points. Has a lot more laydowns from the YouTube videos that I've seen, and doesn't mean there ain't that stuff at the other lake, just that's what I could see using YouTube. Found a few fishing reports that are a couple days old. During the warming trend, both lakes were fishing good, but since this last couple cold fronts have come through, basically it's tapering off, it's falling off, it's on the downward slide. So we'll just have to see how that plays off. Cherokee Lake, I think you're going to see a lot of techniques in play just due to the way it sets up with a lot of rock. I think you'll see a Ned Rid play. We're going to see some type of cranking play, a rig, probably drop shot, jig, probably a tube. For them smallmouths. So I think all those techniques will play there. Very similar to on Douglas Lake, Highland Reservoir, We're going to see A-rigs, swim baits, jigs, cranking, maybe some shad wraps, lipless, and some jerk baits as well there. Like I said, the weather's changing. Got a big front coming through Texas tomorrow, so that's gonna line up for hitting the tournament on its starting day of Saturday, and they're calling for a lot of severe weather here. We may even get a delay or two on this tournament that may shake and change things up. So there's just a lot of unknowns going into this one. That's why I say it's going to be tough to pick good picks this week. But we're going to give it our go. So for me, the reason why I picked the guys this week, and the main reason is momentum. I truly feel momentum has a lot of impact in this game. It's huge confidence for those guys. When they're confident, they're thinking sharper. They can find their patterns sharper. So I think confidence and momentum going into this tournament is going to be a huge player. Also, some of the traits that these guys, have that I think will help them do well at this tournament. Everybody on my list will be good at transitioning from largemouth to smallmouth, which is something you need to think about, because they have to make it through those first several days to get to the last 2 days, where primarily I think smallmouth are going to play in the first part of the tournament, and then largemouth will predominantly play in the last part of the tournament. Not to say a big largemouth or a big smallmouth won't be caught at either lake, but I just think that's how it's gonna play out for this one. So they'll be good with the transitioning. Every one of these guys on this list is, very familiar with Highland reservoirs, Tennessee Water Valley stuff. They're very adaptive. They know how to fish slow, they know how to fish fast, which all the guys at that level are. I just think this list of guys are really good at it. I also picked guys that were good with their electronics and good with their forward-facing sonar. I truly believe, because, with looking at the reports and some of the things, I don't think the full spawn's kicked off there, but I think we'll have, pre and post spawn fish on the body of water. I don't think the majority of the fish have spawned by any means. I think it was a small select few, but we will have both pre-spawn and post-spawn fish coming into this tournament. So, and there may even be a few up there, depending on how this weather affects the water temperature. There may still even be a few up shallow trying to do the deal. So there could be all three phases. I don't think this is going to be a sight fishing tournament by any means. So I went with guys that are good with their electronics and good offshore. So that's why I picked everybody on here. I'm going to go through some honorable mentions to start. These guys, they didn't make my list for this reason or that reason, but I still think they would be great picks for this tournament, especially with all the unknowns we have coming into this tournament. So Dylan Hayes will be a great pick. Tennessee boy, Jesse Wiggins, he knows how to catch them. Shin Fukai may be a good pick for this one. Michael Neal, definitely. Don't want to overlook him. He didn't make my list just because he doesn't have the momentum right now, but he's proved me wrong before in the past. Mark Daniels Jr., he's really got a chip on his shoulder. He's had several, rough tournaments coming into this tournament, and it may be the one that he comes out and just puts the hammer down and all the stars align for him and he blows it out of the park. So, he's another one to think about for contention. Spencer Shoefield's really good on these Highland reservoirs. You got Matt Becker. He's got history here. He's won some tournaments here, I usually don't pick guys with history because sometimes they pan out, but most of the time they don't. And then Kevin Van Dam. We all know he's a smallmouth guru from up north. I know it's a lot different conditions down there. Not as clean water, but that man can catch a smallmouth. So you put him on a smallmouth fishery, he's definitely going to be in contention. So don't ever forget the GOAT. And then those are my honorable mentions for this week. So let's get into my picks. Group A, I got Casey Ashley, Brian Thrift, Adrian Avina, Zach Burge, Matt Lee. You know, they were all in the top 20 at Red Crest or top 10. So they got momentum coming in, and they have all the adaptive qualities that I mentioned before. Group B, I got Ott Defo, Jacob Wheeler, Edwin Evers, Brett Height, and Dustin Connell. You know, these guys are all on a good springtime bite, transitioning, constantly changing. I think all their wheels are greased, and they're kind of in tune with the conditions compared to the rest of the field. I really think this group of 10 will do really well this week, especially with all the momentum they have coming into this. Like I said, we got the weather coming up. It's gonna be variable, to say the least. Let's get the weather pulled up. Sorry about the pause. So, here we go. We got Friday. So, we have our bad weather tomorrow in Texas. Friday, they get their bad weather. It's going to be 61, severe weather. Saturday, high of 48. Sunday, high of 39. Monday, 50. Tuesday, 56. Wednesday, 58. Overnight lows in the low 20s to 30 for the majority of the tournament, and then Wednesday, 42 in the morning. So we got a lot of cold rain. Well, not too cold. We got 61 degrees. Depends on when the rain happens. But we have a lot of cold nights afterwards. Then we got the moon phase and all of that in play. So it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. We got split reservoirs that are two different beasts in their own. They only got 3 days of practice and very variable conditions to start out the week, and then it looks like they're going to have some clouds. They get a little wind. Could be good fishing. Could be tough fishing. Might be a grind. So that's where we're at for this week, and hopefully you guys have tight lines on the weekend. Your picks are good. Hopefully one of us can get in the top 25. Maybe one of us be lucky enough to get all of our anglers to the last day and win a brand new boat and a truck. It's free to play, so it's fun to tag along. Nothing to lose in trying, right? So thanks guys for watching. This is Fowler and Friends, casting off.